if you've been watching any of the social media, you knew that you were waiting for this interview. Why? Because the person who I'm sitting next to actually read the assignment correctly. When we said, show up however you want, it's an open-ended question. But then my man, Kris Olivo, shows up right now like Dennis Rodman on the end of a bender. And I have to wonder to yourself, sir, how long did it take for you to put this ensemble together?
Oh, man, it took no time.
No time?
Yeah, no time.
Oh, no.
Yeah, as soon as I got the car, I was like, I already know what I'm doing.
Let's break this down. People can't fully see this. Dolce & Gabbana on the glasses. I got the Dolce. Then the earrings.
Got the Chanel earrings.
Now we got the bling here.
Yeah, I got
Talk to me about, the watch. The watch hurts me.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, we're at a very fancy place, and I feel like you're the only person who belongs in a castle. The rest of us look like trash.
I appreciate it.
The only thing people cannot see here is just the shoes.
Oh, yeah, I got the red bottoms.
Oh, my God. The red, hold up. Look at this. My God, dude. This is class.
They are red.
Hey, man, good on you.
Thank you.
So when I say you read the assignment correctly, there's no wrong way to show up here, but you showed up the right way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I try to be a professional in everything I do. And so if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right.
How many coats do you have?
Ooh, I got a lot. I have like 4 fur coats.
4?
And building. Probably going to get them in every color. We'll see what happens.
So your girl's here. Does she ever look at the fur coats and are like, hey, are you getting me one? Or does she not want them? Where's she at with it?
She wears mine sometimes.
Does she? Okay.
Yeah.
Listen.
She's worn mine before.
I'll just tell you this right now. I have worked on a lot of different shows and TV. And every time we get swag, my wife's like, ooh, new hoodie.
Yeah.
I could only imagine if I came home with a fur coat that she'd be like, so I'm wearing that now. I'd be like, yeah, babe. All right, fine, whatever. So it's very nice that you
should try it.
Custody.
You should try it.
I don't think it works for me. And I'll tell you why right now. Okay. You're in shape enough where you don't have to wear the shirt. I'm okay in shape.
Well, as long as you wear it right, that's the thing.
It is part of how you carry it.
Yeah, it's an attitude.
But I don't know if you know that other people here are also in shape, and that shit gets real south quickly if you do jokes on people and they're like, hey man, you could do some more sit-ups. You know what I'm saying? Having said that, what has been the anticipated expectation versus the reality when you show up here? Because Zach Schneider was telling me, I don't want to put words in his mouth. Zach, I'm paraphrasing here. He saw you walk in and he was just like, maybe I need to let him go a little bit further in front of me. Because I'm making a good statement, but that man's making a statement. So what has been the reality versus the expectation in terms of how you've done this?
Yeah. So going back to the last season when I showed up in the fur coat for the first time, I had little preparation. So I had already had that. I didn't buy anything. I already had it in my closet. I just needed a reason to wear it. And people didn't know I was an athlete. They thought I was one of the team owners or a sponsor. Yeah. And it wasn't until they saw me throw on the rash guard, they're like, wait, you're competing? And so this time I had time to prep. I had time to do a little bit of shopping, make sure I come correct. But it kind of, I feel like people get a little intimidated. They're like, well, who is this guy? Who does he think he is? Kind of a deal. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. So.
As you shouldn't. And I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. So this just literally speaks to me where I'm like, he's really put attention to detail and I'm very happy about it. Having said that, the persona or the embodiment of it, like you put on this fur coat, you dialed up to 11, but I'm also noticing your voice is going slightly more into Lenny Kravitz territory as you're doing this. And it's just fascinating to me because I hear it in your voice and I go, no, you're just embodying what this person is.
Yeah, that's just who I am.
God bless.
This is my normal voice.
It does sound more like Lenny. I will pull up the first interview that we have done and I will show you just the slight difference that happens.
Sometimes I'm more enunciating. Like when I do some of these things, like I'll start speaking up here. Yeah, okay. But if I'm just like kind of talking, and just chilling. And this is literally how I sound. A lot of times people don't hear me. I was told by a professional singer that the like octave my voice is at gets muffled by other sounds, but they're like, you're good for ASMR though, Hey bro, listen, make extra money doing that. Yeah. So I don't disagree with this. I have to go back to a viral moment. I'm sure other people have asked you about it, but to me,
This made me laugh and cry and then laugh again. The spit take that you did when you walked out.
I spit on Ernesto.
You did. What was your initial reaction when you saw the video? Because I know you had an idea of like, I want to make my entrance work. I was waiting for this moment. I wanted to make the most of it. And then Ernesto basically got infected with COVID circa 2020.
Yeah.
So what was kind of the reaction of that for you?
I thought it was kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. He was a little upset at first, but, you know, eventually he was cool with it. And he was like, you know, at first I was kind of like, F you. But then after he's like, I realize it's just part of who you are. And so he was cool with it then. I thought it was pretty good moment though. I was happy with it.
Listen, dude, there's a lot of ways things cannot happen the way we expect them to. I thought that was just a happy accident where I go, oh, this is just funny. Yeah. Like, I don't know what else to do other than, it's a moment and that dude got spit on. Okay, whatever. Yeah,
I didn't tell anybody I was going to do it either. I didn't even know I was going to do it. I just was drinking coconut water and then I was like, oh, time to go. Let's spin this out.
Ever done it before? Had you ever done that kind of spit entrance before?
No, never.
So that was literally a first take.
Debut.
Not bad, honestly.
Yeah, thank you.
I recently watched a Triple H documentary with Stephanie McMahon. Yeah. And she was, first of all, it's great. If you're an athlete, watch this interview Stephanie does with Triple H because it's literally about how you make an entrance in jiu-jitsu. And that's really big to me. So you were making the most of the moment, but Triple H was telling Stephanie at one point, he's like, hey, do you remember when you tried doing your first spit take? And she looked embarrassing doing it. Like a little like fountain that just kind of like popped it out. So I go, no, there's a real risk, especially on live TV, and you look good doing it. So
thank you.
That's great.
I appreciate it.
How does it feel to actually come back into a regular weight class for you? You were battling up, and we talked about this multiple times. It concerned me because it's not that I don't think you're a good competitor. I know you're a good competitor. It's just, to me, that weight class wasn't where I thought I would see you be the best.
No, I didn't think I was going to be even like in there at all.
Right.
If you look back to how I even got there, it's because I had a really good performance at the qualifier. I subbed a bunch of guys there. And I didn't even plan on doing it. I just kind of showed up because, you know, it was local and I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to try my best, see what happens. Subbed a bunch of good guys. And then, you know, I ended up getting a call from Brandon. But if you look back to last season, I was 50 pounds under compared to some people. Some of those guys were 230, 235, cutting down to 205. I walked in 180 soaking wet. And so I think this season's going to be significantly different. Because people won't just be able to bully me like they were able to do last season. They could just kind of hold me in positions where no one's going to hold me down long term here.
And I mean, talk about you chomping at the bit. Like, I saw some of the background footage and you were just ready to go at any given time. Yep. Like, you knew it's unlikely in a way when you're an alternate, but that you were saying like, hey man, the minute I'm ready to go, I'm going to make the most of it. And you did. Yeah. You hold the nice distinction of getting Sebastian, which nobody else was able to submit that guy. And I felt like that put so much respect on what it was that you were doing, especially coming in as an alternate where they were thinking like, this dude's not going to sub him. He's not going to get this. Yeah. And immediately it was like, no, your antics, your want of getting the attention has method because you want people to pay attention to your jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. 100%. I feel like I went into that like it was a kamikaze mission. You know, I was like, I'm here to die. So, you know, where people are going to die with me. And I knew I wasn't going to go home empty handed. I knew I was taking somebody with me. And so that was a good moment because I was able to actually show a little bit of my jiu-jitsu with the way that the kind of fight played out. And yeah, Sebastian's a tough guy. He's had a lot of really, really good matches post PGF too. He had a banger with Achilles Rocha. So I think it just shows people kind of where my level is at. You know, I've always been in the background of all these high level guys. You see in ADCC, you see them at CJI. You know, I've trained with so many people. And I've always been kind of helping to push people forward. And now I'm doing the same thing for myself.
Good for you, man. What are your expectations for this season of the PGF?
So I expect to do well. I'm here to kill everyone. And so I said that earlier in another interview. I'm here to catch as many bodies as I possibly can. So I think I'm going to have a high submission rate. My game is very submission oriented. I'm coming in conditioned. I'm coming in strong. And so I expect a lot out of myself this season.
And what would a win for this season of the PGF mean to you?
One win, nothing. Multiple wins, all of them, a lot. You know, I think it's going to set up some big opportunities in the future too. And, you know, I think I'm going to do well at this weight class. I think there's other weight classes that I would perform really well into, like 170. And so it's going to mean a lot to me when I make all this money. So that's kind of my mindset. I'm not expecting to get one sub. I'm expecting to be a very high scorer.
Good man. All right, dude, I'm going to do this. I've also heard that amidst all this prep, you also have opened up an academy. Where can people train with you? All that good stuff, sir.
So my academy's name is Potential Jiu Jitsu. And so it's off of Fort Apache and Tropicana here in Las Vegas, like Spring Valley, Summerlin area. I opened it up about a month and a half ago with Heather. And it really came from a place of me wanting to give back to the community. And I'm at the point where, you know, I've been training with Robert, my coach, for so long. I train with a lot of beginners. You know, I've done a lot of coaching. And so I kind of wanted to be able to spread jiu-jitsu in my own way at this point. And so if people want to train with me, it's off of Fort Apache and Tropicana here in Las Vegas. If you just look me up, the Kris Olivo, that's Kris with a K, or Potential Jiu Jitsu, I'm not that hard to find.
I love it. I mean, dude, we've known each other for a minute now. And I have to tell you, you've always had a great entrepreneurial mind. Like,
thank you.
You really do approach your business side in the same approach that you have your jiu-jitsu side, and it shows. And so I just get excited when I see people who I've seen grinding get their opportunities. And I'm really excited for you to get closer in this weight class for you to go just showcase your work.
Yeah.
You gave us a nice preview the last time. I just feel like this time it's a better shot of you, what you can do, what you can pull off. And I think that's really thrilling.
I agree. I think it's a better window to how good I am.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't really tell. People couldn't tell until I subbed Sebastian that I'm really dangerous, you know, and I think I'm capable of beating anyone in this bracket. And so I'm very much looking forward to kind of showcasing a lot of my game. You know, it's not just footlocks. I'm good anywhere. I can sub you anywhere. So
I guess the only last question I have for this segment, if this is how you look today, how are you showing out come draft time, sir?
Oh, it's in similar fashion. Same energy.
Okay.
Yeah, same energy.
You have it figured, or
yeah, no, I already got the outfit picked out. Yeah, I already know what I'm wearing. So I'm gonna keep that.
You don't
keep
have
that
to
a little
say,
surprise.
No, that's good. I don't need to know.
It's gonna be good.
I'll tell you this much. I like being surprised.
Yeah.
I don't want to know anything. I just know when I see this right now. I mean, it's already fun to look at.
Yeah. Let's just say that nobody's gonna be better dressed than I am.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'm not only just going for very high scoring. I'm looking to show everybody
I'm letting you
ultimately
know
who I am.
We are the arbiters here on the show. The pre-show does select who best dressed is.
Hey.
And we have had people in our DMs when they did not win.
Oh,
so I'm just saying
that's crazy.
It's a little coveting.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect that because I was like, yo, we just said at one point this person got best dressed. And they were like, why not me? And I was like, why you?
Yeah.
Did you think that you won?
Yeah.
Because you didn't. And I'm like, we could be objective about this, fam. I just
crazy.
like to say you're positioned very well.
Thank you.
So I look forward to seeing that. And thank you very much for taking the time, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Raf.
All right. Don't go anywhere.